Our guest today. Our guest today is Rob Morris. Hey, Rob.
Yo,
How are you?
good man. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
You're live with our thousands of paid
Let's
subscribers.
go. Let's go.
This is great,
That's a
man.
perfect number.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm excited.
Super Bowl champion Rob Morris. Where are you coming in from?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
And why? And are you from there? Why Salt Lake City, Utah?
Now, I was born in Utah, but I came out to go to BYU, and then I just somehow ended up back here. My mom's from here, so family ended here, and sort of get stuck in a place. And
Yeah,
Salt Lake's
yeah.
not bad. Salt Lake's not too bad.
We met through professional athlete community. We met through PAC. Many of our guests do, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to like be in the room with like all of these different athletes and have different perspectives on things. Rob Morris, Super Bowl champion. We're gonna go through your website as you're telling us your story, but like, why join PAC and what is like the benefit for you in like being back into a locker room type community?
Yeah, so I joined PAC because, I don't know, maybe like a lot of people, it was born of feeling lost and stuck and alone. And I had seen this young guy on Instagram, Bronson Kafusi, and I was like, this dude is impressive.
Mm.
And I reached out to him. I got his number from a friend and I called him, said, let's go to lunch. And then he told me about PAC. That's how I joined. And I was like, okay. And so I've tried to jump in. It's been challenging and tough, but it's been good.
He's impressive, Bronson.
So impressive that it makes me stressed when I talk to him. I'm like, bro, where did you come from?
First time I ever saw him, this hulking man
Yeah.
on stage at a PAC event in Phoenix, and I'm like, this guy like just like knows everything about everything, and is
Yeah.
just so elegant and like gets off the stage and just like the most beautiful walk I've ever
Yeah.
seen. I'm like, that guy played in the NFL probably, and
Yep.
and knows his shit now.
Yep. I coached with his old man at BYU. I coached one year, and his mom's the mayor of a city here in Utah. So it's like he was bred to
Obviously,
be like the perfect, specimen. So
obviously.
yeah.
Rob Morris, what are you working on? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm working on a couple things. I've been trying to build this keynote speaking business. If you've seen my website, it's all about adversity and resilience, overcoming things, and it's born of my own personal suffering and 17 surgeries and loss. And so I'm doing that, and quite frankly, it's a struggle, it's a battle for me. The other thing I'm doing, and I don't know if you call this actual work, is that I'm really starting to hone down on like what I want to do in sort of my day to day, like because I've sort of bounced around post NFL and I've had some unique different careers. So I'm actually for the first time figuring out what is it that I'm actually good at that I like and what are the fields to narrow it down. So I was nervous to come on here when you would say, "Tell me about your work." And I would be like, "Well, I'm trying to figure that out."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's, but I think it's like the right conversation to have. Like, it's not every athlete. Like this, what is this? What is my whole community about? It's about supporting athletes like during and after their careers because there might be an opportunity for them to start a business. There's an opportunity for them to leverage the fact that they're like in the window as a college or professional or Olympic athlete. And not knowing what you want to do is just as important as knowing what you want to do. The journey of finding the thing that you want to do, when did it start? When you were still playing, when you had gotten done, early on in your career, you're like, what am I going to do after all of this is over?
Yeah. So I'll say this. Unfortunately, realizing now, which was a huge miss, was it didn't start till way too late. Because I had such an inflexible identity when my career ended. It was crazy. I had gotten this new contract extension. We won the Super Bowl. I was getting accolades, and then the next year, boom, right out of the gate, I got hurt, carted off the field, career over. No plan, no backup. I just thought, well, I made a little money, and then I struggled with addiction and depression and da da da. And then next thing you know, you're 50 years old, and you're sitting, trying to figure out, look, what do I do? And people are like, well, start a business. I'm like, well, I don't. I've literally been like in recovery from some surgery for 20 years. Like, I don't know how to start a business. So there's a lot of self doubt that creeps in. a lot of fear. And so, I didn't have any plan. And so I'm very, very late to the game. But one of the things I'm thinking about in my resilience work is this notion of identity flexibility. So I'm putting a lot of effort into reaching out to people so that I can start trying things, maybe doing like some shadowing, some mini internships. Because me, I'll sit around behind my computer for the next 10 years trying to figure it out and nothing will ever happen.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm thinking about it now. So the answer was I had no plan, and I'm trying to build one.
Regardless of whether or not you need to get a job, some of the athletes we talk to and talk with like don't need to get a job, and some of them don't need to start a business, and some of them like can't spend the time saying like, "What is my passion?" But I think that's the wrong perspective. Getting to the same place. I think the right perspective is following the thing that you're good at. I think you're good at a lot of things. I think you're good at speaking. I think you're good at telling your story. I've never seen you in a workplace, but I'm sure you're good at that too. How would you describe the feeling of follow your passion versus try to find that thing you're good at and have that thing you're good at like leverage the next part in your career?
Yeah, that's a great question because sometimes the thing you're good at is not the thing you're passionate about. So I'm trying to find the intersection of that thing. So one of the things I've done recently is I've tried to use these AI tools, and I've just word vomited this. I did a little webinar thing with a guy through Pack the other day, Sam. It was amazing, and he said, just word vomit the things you love about life, the things you've loved about past jobs. I spent about 2 hours just talking about little bits. I was a VP at a global cosmetics company for 6 years, and my role was so varied. I did all these different stuff. My technical job title was VP of Culture and Community, and then VP of Employee Success. But I mean, I was doing like, I was in charge of the COVID, response force, and I was doing this restructure of the cafeteria, and I was working on all these things that had nothing to do with wellness, and I realized like the thing that it spit back out to me was this notion of like you are sort of like a chief of staff type of person. I don't have deep institutional knowledge in one thing, but give me some instructions, give me sort of a broad container, and let me build within it, and that's what I'm good at. So what does that mean? What buckets does that fit in? That's what I'm still trying to figure out. But it was a hard one because I was like, well, I don't know the one thing that I'm good at. And then I was like, well, the one thing you're good at is building within some structure. So I'm not sure. I don't know if I should admit this, but I don't know that a solo entrepreneur thing is the right thing for me. I don't think it is. I don't think it's the right thing for everybody. So I have the speaking thing, which I want to do, but I need some structure in my life. My brain like craves it, and I thrive in this structure.
Yeah.
I'm rambling a little bit
No,
now.
you're totally fine. I
Yeah,
think that's the right. Not everybody can start a business, and
yeah,
people who can start a business, not everybody can like see it through. And starting a business doesn't have to be this momentous thing. It could always be this like small chipping away of stuff. And I've seen the best people or the people who you think would be the most successful with a great idea not be able to like follow through because not everybody knows everything. And
yeah.
the biggest companies or the best entrepreneurs aren't doing it themselves. They have like a team of people around them. How have
E-
you cultivated like the community around you to support you after you got done playing? What has that journey been like for you?
Uh, challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The
sure.
single, honestly, Jeremy, the single great challenge of my life has been to rebound post career. And I feel a ton of frustration. And the one thing, Pack is amazing, and I've I had I've had some very frustrating moments where I'm just like, this is not for me because it's all virtual, and I'm just like, I love the programming, but I don't know if it's a fit for me, and it's frustrating. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. It's actually just been recently where I've thought this is just one piece of the community. Like you can't. So I'm twofold. I'm sort of interested in the speaking stuff and the entrepreneur stuff through Pack and that piece of community, but I need local, structure
Yeah.
and a container. And that realization is just hitting me. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here and be like, well, yeah, this is not for me. It's not going to work. Well, of course it's not going to work. It's a piece of the puzzle. And so I'm thinking I'm trying to lean in more to pack of like, hey, what is my responsibility to put forth to be more proactive? Sometimes I can sit around and wait for someone to come rescue me, and I'm just like, nobody's coming, bro. It's they're not like they'll be here when you when you ask for them to come. So
Right.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
So interesting, like because I'm seeing, like we talk a lot. We're part of like one of the groups in Pack, and you'll say something, and I'll be like, oh, like I feel that too, and like where can I say something that might help Rob? But like Rob is doing the things I think that's like saying the things that are out in the open that maybe a lot of people also feel. Like I wouldn't be embarrassed about the fact that I don't know what I want to do. That's okay.
Yeah,
Like you don't have to. And I think
yeah,
it's really refreshing to hear somebody who played a sport at the highest possible level be able to say, yeah, I did that and I'm still figuring it out. And like I think that's your superpower. Like that's your gift to be able to say those things.
yeah. I think you might be onto something. It was a little discover I had. It's kind of slightly adjacent to what you're saying, but I had this realization the other day when I was doing this AI stuff and trying to figure it out is that one of my strengths is that I can go into a room of the top executives and ask a dumb question because it doesn't seem dumb to me. I don't, why would I know this?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh my gosh, that's a great question. Nobody else will ask it
Yeah.
because they don't want to sound like an idiot. I don't mind. I've been sounding like an idiot for my whole life. Like, why should I stop now? But, and I can also, I realize another superpower is I can speak to the CEO, the owner of the company, and then I can go to the warehouse and hang out with those guys and shoot hoops too, speak the same language, and then I can translate in the middle.
Yeah.
So that's this like connector piece that I'm learning that I might be good at. Of like, oh, I could be sort of the hub of an organization where all the different levels I got to know them, which is what I was at this cosmetics company, which I loved. And then I left to pursue a master's degree that I never finished. That was a miss.
We're gonna change the Chiron. It's
Yeah.
another athlete goes and gets a master's degree and doesn't know what to do with
Oh man.
it.
Yeah. So anyway.
What I've learned in my travels and the success I've had like being in rooms and the failures I've had in being in rooms is that uh I play to the audience. And the sooner you realize like how you speak the language of the person you're speaking to, like the better off you're going to be. And as an athlete, it's like, yeah, the warehouse guys, you'll talk to them, whatever, and then you'll drop the fact that you were an athlete, and then they'll be like, their eyes will hook on you. They'll ask you questions. My kid plays baseball. Can you show what? Look at his swing. Like you can do
Yeah.
that, and you can do that at the highest level too. And I've just noticed, and even after my career, yeah, when I used to play for the Mets, and everyone perks up. CEO's like,
Yeah.
wow, that's cool. That matters to people.
Yeah. It's a nice little it's a nice little um it actually makes you more of a man of the person when you can be a man of the people, a man of the people,
Yeah,
and still have accomplished, these great things. And these are the little discoveries that I'm making. It's like, no, the things that I think are my weaknesses or the things that I get frustrated the most about might just be my superpower.
yeah,
So now I think my work is, Jeremy, is just figuring out how do I get them, how do I get them in front of people to see, in a way that, uh, in a corporate way. How do I translate that into and so that's kind of where I'm at,
yeah.
what I'm working on.
I think it's an amazing effort, and I think it's worth the trouble. And I do this every single day, not because I have to, or that it pays me a lot of money, but I get to. And the the most fun I have is just sort of reading sports news and ad libbing and making jokes, and then I get to talk to like former professional athletes about the things that like make them happy and or sad, and the businesses that they're building, or writers and reporters or people in the front office, whatever it might be, because we love sport. And there's always that through line back to the value that sports brings us. Um, you mentioned that you coached at BYU only for a year. I know a lot of athletes who like were like, oh yeah, I'll just go back and coach. I'm gonna coach high school this year. I'm really excited to like be in a dugout again. What was your experience like going from the things that you were doing back to coaching on like a real big sideline to then, only doing it for a year?
you got to be a football junkie to coach
Yeah.
Division 1 college football.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And I was there pre NIL and pre that chaos, and I just wasn't football junkie enough. I liked the interactions with the guys. I actually did like some mental health stuff with them. I liked that stuff. I was actually I played linebacker in the NFL, but I worked with the O line at BYU.
Mhm.
I was kind of like assistant O line coach, offensive GA, so that I could coach the defensive scout team. I liked working with those young guys that were just getting started out. But in terms of the day-to-day stuff, like you have to be a football junkie. And so I realized pretty quick, like this isn't for me. And honestly, I think I did it because I was a little bit lost. And I was like,
Sure.
well, I know about this. I'll try this. So
Yeah. Trying things and then going, it's not for me. I think is
yeah,
better than not. Obviously, it's not better than not trying at all.
which I've been slow to do that, man.
Yeah.
I've been too slow to go into the world and fail. And that's just from fear. And that's something I'm trying to do more. I'd like to fail a little bit more.
That reminds me of last winter. Was it you went to Sweden?
Finland.
How? Okay, so what? The purpose of that? What was that experience like? Did it help? Did it hurt?
Yeah, yeah. I'm interested in resilience, right? Like I said, it's born of my own suffering. So I got to a point where I was like, something's not right. Everyone's telling me I'm resilient, but I feel nuts. So I started this deep dive, and I came across this uniquely Finnish cultural concept called sisu, which is basically extraordinary courage in the face of, almost certain defeat. It's like, what do you have left when you have nothing left? And it's born of their long struggles with Imperial Russia, the fact that nothing grows there. It's dark, it's cold. So I got on ChatGPT and I said, I want to learn about Sisu. I want to learn about it in Finland, and I want to learn about it in harsh conditions. About 3 weeks later, I found myself in northern Finland, right on the edge of the Arctic Circle, about 5 miles from Russia, with these two ex Dutch military guys that had just climbed Kilimanjaro in 20 hours. They had set the record. All Dutch people. I'm the only American. They have to translate the whole program from Dutch to English, which I kind of felt crummy that they had to do that. But they were so excited to have me there. And we went and we did cold plunge and we did survival skills training. And we went on these nutty hikes in the snow with where we were only allowed to wear shoes, socks, no shirts. We had our packs on. But then we would do these recovery exercises. We would have meals together, drink wine together. And so we were pushing and then pulling back. And it was like this intentional exposure to challenge in the right way. So, you're not just cramming into things. So it was really one of the pillars of the things I talk about is the importance of intentionally exposing yourself to challenge to build your capacity to be resilient. And that's what this whole thing was about. It wasn't about beating you down to see how tough you were. It was about taking you right to the edge and then bringing you back, right? Amazing meals, big fires. And then they would be like, okay, here's a bed of nails. Come stand on them. This one hurts really bad. This one hurts worse. This one's okay. You pick. And then you would go stand on them and they would coach you through and you would breathe. And then you would sit down and write in your journal and talk about your feelings and do breath work. And so it was this great mix of survival skills, internal. When I first did the Zoom call with them, they had two programs. And I asked them about the two programs. And I said, which one should I do? And they said, do you want to do inner work or do you want to suffer? And I thought, oh, sounds like the same thing to me. So I'll choose the inner work. And it was actually a little bit of both. Yeah, so it was really cool. Very taught me a lot about resilience and about how to build capacity without overdoing it.
Was it worth it?
Totally worth it. Totally worth it. I love doing odd things like that. I'm taking sailing lessons right now. I'm learning a lot about life and sailing. It's much funner to sail into the wind at a slight angle, which is kind of like, you're sort of living life, kind of moving into adversity, but you're not going straight into it. You go straight into it, you don't go anywhere. But if you just get 45-degree angle off the wind, that's the funnest time, man. The boat keels over. You can feel the wind in your face. Feels like you're going to tip over sometime, and you make a little adjustment, and then you're back on course. So love doing little things like that. I took a blacksmithing class.
Cool.
So I'm very curious. I'm very interested in the world and its relationship to ourselves, and so I really like doing those type of things.
You're following your passion for exploring new things. That's not indecision. That is following your passion
Yeah.
for things that might pique your interest. And there might be
Yeah.
something where you're like, I want to do this every day forever.
How
And
do I
like
get paid
that's
for that? Who
and,
will pay me
yeah,
for that?
yeah. And if it doesn't, like, that's okay. I can't name
Yeah.
another guy who goes to Finland, stands on nails, comes back to Salt Lake City, does blacksmithing, is sailing. You're a man of the world.
I'm a Renaissance man.
That's right.
Yeah. Those things all cost money though. So that's the, but I actually have thought like, you know what? I should reach out to the place in Finland because they were amazing. I should organize a retreat for, people in pack, ex-athletes,
Yeah.
their wives. It could actually be killer. So this is an idea that I keep throwing around.
I was just about to say I would do a
Yeah.
Rob Morris led resilience training inner work group in the snowy Alps of Salt Lake City.
Could be pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Food for thought. Yeah, I guess I don't have to actually go to Finland to do that, do I? Salt Lake City's kind of a cool place.
Salt Lake City's cool. Park City's right around the corner. Put everybody up in a cabin for
W- w-
5 days.
We'd have to work really hard to not make things cush in Park City, though. Be challenged. We'd have to get out. We'd have to get out. We'd have to get up in the Uintas where there's some, real
Let,
mountain stuff going on.
let me tell you a secret. I don't need to sleep outside to
To-
to be rugged. Okay?
okay. All right.
But I would do it. Honestly, maybe get Pack to pay for it.
All
This is
right.
recorded. Hey,
You,
Pack, listen
you
to
heard
us.
you heard it here first.
You're gonna pay for this group. It's gonna be led by
Uh,
Rob and Bronson. Jeremy's gonna go. Others are
yeah.
gonna go, and it's gonna be 10 days of former professional athletes just talking and figuring things out.
Yeah, I love it. We'll let Bronson be in charge of the survival skills, and then it'll be rough for
I would
people.
rather have you do it because
Oh,
Bronson would be like,
yeah. Yeah.
"You're gonna eat this glass," and
Yeah.
that's what got me in
Don't
the
do it.
NFL.
Yeah. 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 So
We usually go 15 minutes. Sometimes we go over. We've gone a little bit over, so I appreciate you like being here early in the morning with us.
100%, man. Happy to do it.
I think
Fun.
we should keep having you on because I want to hear what Rob Morris is up to and what he's working on and what he's learning because athletes who are like 22 or 26 or 32 getting done playing need to know that it's okay to follow the thing that like piques your interest
Yeah.
and to knowing that you won a Super Bowl, did the things that you want to do in sport, had a real job for 6 years doing things. You've had that experience, and now you're like, I'm gonna go blacksmith. That would be interesting. I think people like it's refreshing for, especially me having these conversations. It's refreshing for people to hear.
Yeah. No, appreciate it, man. I would love to come on more. Enjoy the chat.
Our global correspondent will say,
Yes, I love it.
what would you tell 18-year-old Rob Morris? Hey, you're about to go play in college, and here's the thing that you need to know about your career.
Yeah, my thing would be to cultivate and pay attention to the way you view your identity and don't get stuck in identity. There's a concept called identity foreclosure where you get stuck in this one identity. And that's been my problem. It's very, very difficult to get out if you don't have experience. So you can at that point you can focus all your energy to be great at a sport and also cultivate other identities. Look, this is Bronson Confuci in a nutshell. Bronson has spent time. He recognized early on in his career that it wasn't going to last long. I did not recognize that. I was like, sweet, I'm a professional football player. This is what I'll do forever. And so I would say to them, cultivate multiple identities, and you do that through action. You do that through, going out, getting experience in the job market, doing those things while you're playing, not after not after things fall apart.
Yeah, everything we preach on this show. I
Yeah.
appreciate the reinforcement of that.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
You bet,
and
man.
Excited to keep our relationship going. Where can people find you?
So I'm on Instagram that I don't keep up very well, Rob Morris 2.0. I have a website, robmorriscoaching.com. Yeah, those are the best ways. I'm on LinkedIn, all that kind of
Sure.
stuff. So yeah,
Okay.
hit me up.
First time, but not last time on the show. Thank you, Rob.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
You got it, man.
Appreciate you.
See ya.
All right. See ya. Take care.
Live is best. Live is great. Rob is such a thoughtful dude. He's just a thoughtful guy. He's just a thoughtful Rob. And the best part about Rob is he's just, yeah, I'm going to go blacksmith. I'm going to go to Finland and stand on nails. I'm going to go work as a VP of culture and employee relations at this cosmetics company. And I'm going to go do resilience coaching and throw out these terms where he is an expert in this. And when you're doing this thing at a very high level, like you're playing your sport at a very high level, there are some Bronsons, I hope we can have Bronson on the show soon. There are some Bronsons who know what they want to do and have an idea and can put that idea into action and take the steps necessary to see that action through. And then there are people like Rob who are like, I want to blacksmith and I want to do this. I want to do this. And it's not unfocused. Rob is just exploring his passions. What am I interested in? And that takes guts too. Some people don't take the necessary steps to do anything and just do the easiest path, which is nothing. And Rob's like, blacksmith, sailing, jiu-jitsu probably, except he's had a lot of surgeries, so maybe not. And going to Finland and doing crazy shit all the time. Doubt, does that pay you money? He is smart enough to, like, if he had to, and maybe he has to, and he has to, everybody does, he would make it work. And what he was saying, some people want structure. I give myself structure. I wake up at the same time every day, and I set my desk up at the same time every day, and I set up the things I'm going to do, and then I talk to you at the same time every day, and that's my routine in the morning. My morning routine is to go live on YouTube, Substack, X, Twitch. The first words I say in the morning, literally every morning, are, welcome to Open Athletes. I'm Jeremy Wolf, former MLB draft pick. And it brings me a lot of joy to just be able to have this conversation and share with you that, like, not everybody's going to be Jake. And Jake has his own story that we saw yesterday. And Tate has his own story. And we're going to see Nikki over the next couple of weeks. Nikki has her own story. And Rob has his story. And there's so much you can learn from Rob just by listening to conversations or having a conversation with him. Because there's so much that experience can teach you. Rob's post-career is a success because he's a model to others on following the thing that you are interested in. All of these athletes that we talk to, like, have different perspectives on following your passion and following your work. And if you're fortunate enough in your career to make enough money that'll sustain you or that can set you up for success when you're done, that's a hard transition to say, well, I did that at an incredibly high level and now I need to make money because the money's not going to last forever. And what do I do? Usually those guys played 10 years in whatever sport and they're 10 years behind everybody else in working. I was 26 when I was like, I need to get a real job. I was 4 years behind everybody else. I was 26 with an entry-level job instead of 22 with an entry-level job. I was behind everybody else. There's pros and cons to everything, of course. But athletes as identity, Rob is never Rob the linebacker or Rob the football player. Rob was this person who followed his passion and interest, and his passion and interest for the longest time was his job playing football. And some athletes, to perform at the highest level, need to just focus 100% of their time and energy on their career, and then when they're done, they'll figure it out. And some athletes, to be successful, need to be able to focus on something else outside the field. It's an entire spectrum. I needed to focus on other things. Because if I focused 100% on my swing or my arm, it would drive me crazy. in the off season and during the season. I didn't want to always watch and think about baseball. I played guitar. I spent my time doing other things. But I know guys who were like 150% on the thing that they were doing, and every single second of every single day, they focused on their sport and they never thought about anything else because they would just get there when they got there. And that's not wrong. There's multiple ways to do it. So you as an athlete can find yours, find the thing, find your balance between being me, being Rob, being ready to be done, to prepare yourself for being done while you're doing it, even before you're doing it, because I was already going to do stuff because I didn't think I was going to get drafted. Or being Rob, Super Bowl champion, got a contract, wasn't just a scrub, who's just now still in a world where he thinks he's behind. Behind what? He's playing a different game than everybody else. He's playing the Rob game. He's not competing with anybody else anymore like you would to get a starting job. We're all like that. What's the rush? The rush would be, in some cases, I need to make money so that I can support myself and my family. Of course. And to do that, find the thing that you're good at and have somebody pay you for the thing that you're good at. I'm good at this. I hope you think I'm good at this. I'm good at insurance. I'm good at navigating to get stuff done within an ecosystem and a culture. That may seem like that's a job. Yes, that's a job in itself. You have an opportunity to find that thing, that spectrum. And that's your challenge. It's always your challenge. And you could be 50 like Rob going, what am I going to do next? What do I get to do next? What's my passion? Am I going to be so good at that that can make me money? I've always wanted to be so good and so passionate about something that I just want to do that every day for the rest of my life. That's how I am. I am 100% like gung-ho like that. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's not. I'm giving this like 10 years. 10 years is a long time. And I hope I can have this conversation with you every single day for 10 years. I am promising, like, I'm giving you everything I have. This is everything I have. The newsletter is everything I have. The way we do it on social media is everything I can give you. But like, I want to make something tangible. And I was like, maybe it's clay. And I did clay and I was like, I don't like how not firm it is. And I don't like how I got to keep doing this. And I didn't like the feeling of like it. But like, that's my thinking is like, oh, am I going to love this enough to do it every day for the rest of my life? That's so long-term thinking that I know that that's not healthy in the thing that I'm trying to do. Can I do it? Am I excited to do it tomorrow? Well, this show, I'm excited to get better at it and do it tomorrow. Maybe this show is my making something every day. It's where I'm creative. It's meditative. I get to talk through problems. It's my therapy. And I get to yell at Dick's Sporting Goods and name a better job than that. All right. Quick ad break. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the golf class. Thank you.